Hey everybody, it's Liz with Liz Art Finds, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about shipping. I had a question last week about whether or not I take into account how difficult it would be to ship something when I pick it off the shelves. And, it got me to thinking, it's not something that really enters my brain unless it's like this ginormous thing, and then I bought that painting, which is ginormous, so I'm still trying to figure out the shipping on that. But everything else, I haven't had an issue. If you go over to my eBay store, you can look at the comments from people, and invariably one of the things I pride myself on is a lot of the comments are, "Oh my God, so well packed. Arrived here with no problem, beautifully packed," things like that. So it's something I'm pretty confident in. And it's not that hard when you know a couple little secrets, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple little secrets. Number one, the most challenging thing with shipping delicate items is filling in the gaps, okay? So what does that mean? So things break in shipping when there's obviously a lot of force on something, so you want to protect it from that, but also from uneven forces, right? So let's take, for example, something like this. Okay, now this is a Fenton vase. I have not listed it yet, but notice how here it's way out here, and here it's way out here, and here it's way in here. Now, granted, this is not a very fragile piece of glass, but I would still protect the neck, right? So one of the things I will focus on when I pack this is building this area out so that it makes almost a perfect cylinder. I would also stuff something in here so that I'm bubble wrapping something that is a perfect size, like a perfect, it doesn't have that gap. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm having a hard time saying it. So one of the big things that I use a lot of is newsprint. Now I have the unprinted newsprint that I get from Amazon. And I apologize in advance if you guys have the misophonia thing, like it is. You hate that sound. I'm so sorry. But what I would do, let me lift this up. I would crumple some of this paper up, and I would use it to build out around that area so that I've got pretty much a solid cylinder, okay? I would also, sorry I keep going off camera, I would also put some of the newsprint, God, this is going to be annoying, into the top, and then wrap around the outside. And then I would take another piece, and this is before I even start bubble wrapping. I would lay this out on the table, and I would roll, you cannot see this. All right, so I would roll the piece in the paper. Okay, I'm going to tape it. Hang on. Get this tape. Again, sorry for the noises. Bring this around. This isn't 100% neat, but now this is not protected as far as cushioning and stuff yet. It's just protecting the shape, protecting it from internal forces. I just finished taping here. I don't know how much you can see. A little bit more down. Okay. So I've created something, it's a little rough, but basically just to show you, like a cylinder. Okay, now down here, around the base of the vase, there's not a lot of protection. There's good protection in around that place that was basically a hole. So the next step will be bubble wrap. Okay, I have mine on the floor here, trying to make it so I can sit here and show you all some stuff. Okay. Okay. So, bubble wrap. And I would lay it out. I have these giant rolls of bubble wrap. I would lay it out on the floor. I like to do a lot of my wrapping on the floor. And I would basically just roll. Okay, because I've got that cylinder now. So I'm rolling. And I'm going to take this slightly off camera a little bit because my bubble wrap is on the floor. All right. Very awkward. Oh my goodness gracious, y'all. Right. So, all right, and so you're building this cylinder, or whatever the shape of your piece is, right? You want to protect it, and this is to cushion it. And you want to kind of feel through, do I feel my thing anymore? Is it hard? And I don't right now. All I feel is cushiony bubble wrap. So I'm going to tear this, and I'm going to close this up, seal it, and then on the ends, this one is actually small enough that I can seal my ends and get the protection there as well. So I'm bending this down. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it the other way as well. Now, if your piece is longer, I would then bubble wrap. I would roll it the other way, and I would bubble wrap in the other direction. So I would roll it the long way and bubble wrap as well. Okay, and it looks like I did not bring the right size boxes in here, y'all. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so now when I feel this, I do not feel any glass. I don't feel anything that would get any pressure anywhere. It feels very well protected. Okay, so now the next step, I'm going to get the 8x8. Yeah. The next step on that is to create like a little nest inside your box. Now this is an 8x8x8. It's probably a little bit big. If I had like an 8x8x6, that would be better. But this is what I have. So then you would take your paper and create a little nest in it. And then you're going to gently lay your bubble wrap piece. I'm going to have to undo all of this because I haven't listed this guy yet. But you're going to lay him, I haven't taken photos of him yet. You're going to lay him in here. Now this guy seems like it wants to be side to side. So when I put him in here, there's no cushioning underneath him. So now I'm going to get more. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to try to make sure that he is really, really well cushioned in there. Okay, and then I'm going to fill it out with even more paper. So you can see what this looks like here. You see all those gaps. We're going to fill those with the paper all the way around. You don't want the bubble wrap touching the edges of the box. You want to make sure, and I haven't finished this yet, put in a couple more. You want to make sure that it is cushioned nicely all the way around. And push that down. Like, you know, if you're trying to protect something, you really want to protect it. Okay, so it's going to look like something like that. Then I have my thank you cards. So thanks Josh and Haley, Hairy Tornado, shout out for the idea. Thank you card. It basically says, thank you. I truly appreciate the support. I hope you love your special find, because my business is Liz Art Finds. I have a little picture of me to make it more personal. And then I have my links. I have my eBay, my Facebook, my YouTube links there. So one of those goes into every box. And then notice there's still space on top. So I'm going to take another piece of packing paper and pinch that over the top, right? And then you fold in your sides, yada yada, seal it up with tape. I go weigh it, etc., etc. Okay, so that is how I would do a delicate item. Now, a couple other things like mugs. I have my little 4x4 boxes, 4x4x4. I use these a lot for mugs or different cups and things like that, because if you notice, when you buy a mug, it basically comes in something like this. It doesn't have tons of bubble wrap or things like that. So I'm going to put that mug in there, and I'm going to close it up, okay? And then I will bubble wrap around the box and put this box in a bigger box, right, to protect this guy. But he's already protected. Just the size, the way the mug is, the way it fits in a 4x4x4, it's, I say it's not moving around in there. It's not moving around in there once you close it up. So if I close this up, right, it's not going anywhere. It's touching the sides and everything. So I did this for a set of 6 mugs, the 12 Days of Christmas ones, I think. Actually, no, it was another set of 6. anyway, a set of 6 mugs. And I put them all in boxes like this, and I bubble wrapped around and put my paper in and whatnot, and closed it up, shipped it off. The lady who got it sent me a message basically laughing at me saying, "Oh my God, are you my father? My father likes to wrap like that." So anyway, of course I got a really great review for that. I'm going to show you a couple more examples, but before I do that, I want to just show you something. One of the reasons I'm really confident. This piece, probably the most beautiful piece from a historic perspective that I've ever found. I got this for $15 on an auction site from a relatively new auction company at the time that I don't think they knew what they had. So I paid $15. This was a Heron, oh my gosh, Martinez Mendoza. Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, very, very famous artist out of Mexico, did these beautiful candelabras in these outdoor kilns, and then painted them. This piece is, one of a kind. It's missing a leaf, and I disclosed that in the listing. She paid $250 for it, plus $150 shipping, okay? So the other piece of that is, when somebody really wants something, they're going to pay for it. She wanted me to double box it, which I hadn't done. I was pretty confident in my shipping. I had it all packed up, and she was like, "Can you double box it?" So I went over to UPS, and I did get another box and got the packing peanuts from them to cushion between the boxes. But the actual packing and shipping of this took me about 3 hours, and I'm not kidding. I bubble wrapped. I didn't use the paper. I bubble wrapped individually each of these little pieces. So I would cut off a piece of bubble wrap, wrap it around, tape it together. I did that for all the pieces, and then where there were holes, obviously there's spaces in here that I need to protect, I used more bubble wrap. I did not use, like I said, the paper stuff on this. It was very delicate. I did want to make sure it was totally protected. So I had bubble wrap on each piece. I had bubble wrap in between each of the things, and then around the outside, and then between the neck of the creature and the tail of the creature. It was all just built up with bubble wrap and tape, and I just kept going, and I literally 3 hours. Is this something you want to do every day? No, but I wanted this to get where it was going in California, and it needed, I needed to be extra confident. And so, like I said, the shipping didn't cost me that full $150, but it was between the driving back and forth, the mileage to UPS, the package, the extra box and all the other thing, it came pretty close. But she was ecstatic, and she gave me a great review, and it got there unscathed. And so, my feeling is if I can ship this, then I'm pretty confident in my shipping. Now, I don't want to get overconfident because things happen. So I want to show you 2 more things, or maybe 3. The stork. I don't know if this was one that y'all were concerned about. So this one I would apply the same, the same strategy that I just mentioned, which would be lots and lots of either bubble wrap or paper building out around this guy, right? So I would build out between his legs. I actually might want to use bubble wrap. Let's see how this goes. Build out between his legs. And then there's that space between the tail. So I might want to build that out. I'm actually thinking as I'm looking at it that bubble wrap may be better for him. Let's see how that looks. But basically the goal is, like I said, you want to protect, obviously you want to protect your piece, but you want to fill in all of the open spaces. Okay. So I would probably go between his legs. I'll probably end up, I need to put some pieces up in between here, make sure that's protected. I will want to protect his beak. I will want to protect this space here. And like I said, it's little by little, and just building it out and taping it as I go, making sure there's no extra space in there where anything could break. You want it supported, you want it tight, You want to make sure that it can't go anywhere, okay? So that's, I'm not going to do the whole thing here on camera, but that's basically the how I would approach this. And you know, your log at the bottom is pretty wide. You've got a lot of space to work with here. And then for boxes on this, oops, I have a 6 by 6 by 18. I bought these for lamps. So with this guy, he's gonna go great in here, but I've got it, like I've got packing paper at the bottom, so he'll be like that in there, probably corner to corner. If he doesn't fit once he's all bubble wrapped up, I will try a different size box. Anyway, that's how I would deal with that. And then the little Asian man that I showed you guys last week that may have been part of the concern, right? Because he's all paper, right? The other one, it turns out only one of them is saleable. The other one has a broken hand, and you know, we saw his hair was an issue last week. So I don't know if you can see the bottom. Basically, let's see, so what I've done in here, he's on a base, and his base sits up about yay high. And I have maybe an inch or two, maybe an inch around him all the way on the bottom. This box is 14 by 14 by 10. I'm gonna actually double the box. Like I'm gonna have this box, I'm gonna have the same exact box over the top of it, because that's the size boxes I have. And then I'm probably gonna put that box into a bigger box. And I may get some packing peanuts for him. But with this guy, it's all about making sure the base doesn't move, okay? So he's in here now really tight. I smushed the paper in really, really tightly around him. If I had packing peanuts, I would probably fill this with packing peanuts. I hardly ever use them, but a case like this where this is literally paper, there's nothing in here that's gonna break, as long as it's supported and not moving. I think packing peanuts is the right choice on this. Because I don't want to smush, like I don't want to wrap it really tight like I would with a piece of glass that I'm trying to protect. I want to give him room. I'm actually considering, since this box will be in another box, I'm actually considering putting some holes in the bottom of the box and some string and tying the wooden base to the box at the bottom, so he's truly not moving anywhere. I will fill it then with some sort of packing peanuts, and then I have another 14 by 14 by 10, right, which would go over the top, and then I would bring it all the way down. I'm not going to do that on camera right now because sometimes one of these seams will break, and then you just have to put it. Oh, it's not going to break. Okay, so whoops, my shirt's stuck in there. Basically, I didn't get this all the way down, but the goal would be to bring this so that it comes all the way down to the bottom here, and then take everything up really well. So I'm not gonna get to it on camera, but you get the general idea. So that is how I would pack him. And then, you know, the thing that actually is a little scary to me is this guy. The good news on this is it's already in its original packaging. You keep hearing the ding because there's a hole in the bottom of the box, which you may or may not see. So even though this thing goes through here and it's very well protected in here, that little spot at the bottom of the box, the base is actually coming through. So I have to protect that, and I will put lots of bubble wrap down there so we don't get this going on. Right, so I just have one piece of bubble wrap under it right now, and it's already not making any noise anymore. Okay, so the good news with this is with the original packaging in here, it's got the hole at the bottom, it's got the thing at the top, so it's not moving in here, okay? So it is protected already just by its original packaging. I will take this up, I will bubble wrap around the sides, I will bubble wrap around the bottom, all of that, and then I will get that into a bigger box that has paper in it around the bubble wrap. So do I overkill? Probably, but to date, knock on wood, I've had no issues with my shipping. I've had no issues with breakage. I have a lot of very happy customers. And fingers crossed, right? So the only one I'm still working on right now is, like I said, I have that very large painting, and it's an oil painting. So I bought the corners that go, like that you put on frames and stuff when you're moving. I bought this special kind of paper. I forgot what it's called. It's, actually, hang on. It is right here. It is glassine paper, because I did some research on how to protect a painting in transit. And so basically this would go over the actual painting to protect it. And then they recommend styrofoam. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I may use multiple layers of cardboard. And yeah, I got to get a box that's the right size, and possibly, you know, obviously double box. So that one's going to be a little challenging. That's why I haven't listed that one yet. I'm debating trying to sell it locally. But that's the only one so far that's kind of given me a little bit of pause. All right, so anyhow, that is all for this week. Just a little bit on how I pack and ship stuff. And yeah, so drop your questions below. If you have more questions, I will try to address them in a following week. I did do a little shopping last night, so I have a little mini haul, but I think I'm going to save that for next week. I still want to do the ceramics. Like, I do have a lot of pieces of art pottery that I would love to show off before I box them up. So that will happen in one of the next few weeks as well. I mentioned I'm behind. One of the reasons I'm behind is because part of my process is I actually package things as I list them, which when you're a small seller, it's no big deal. When you start selling lots and lots of things, it's not the smartest move. And I'm still doing that. So I'm still kind of waiting. I sold, I think, 4 or 5 things this week. I'm selling about 5 things every week. So trying to list more than that so I can slowly grow my my store. And the goal is obviously to sell more like 50 a week rather than 5. But we'll get there. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I hope this helps a little bit. If you have more questions, like I said, drop them in the comments or reach out to me. I'm trying to think if there's another way you can reach me. I think on eBay, you can reach me through messages there as well. Okay, please like, subscribe, share. The like is the big thing. You know, every week, just hit that little thumbs up button, right? If you learned something or, I don't know, like this channel. And that will help me grow. So thank you, everybody. I'm now realizing that my phone is crooked, so hopefully that didn't annoy you too much. Anyhow, have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.